In this video, I'm going to show you two different scenarios where my file organizer program will help to make your life much easier. In this first scenario, we've got a folder full of various ADF files. As you can see, there's a ton of them. They're not organized. So we can go to File Organizer. We can select our source folder. Then we can select our destination folder, which we'll create. And select. And then we've got some options we can select. Dry run will go through the motions of the process and display the output on the screen without physically doing anything, just to give you a bit of an idea of what you're in for. You've got the option to write a log file, and you've also got the option here to not create empty letter folders, and that simply means if there are no source files beginning with the letter D, then there'll be no letter D folder created in the destination folder. Keep source just means that after the folder organizer program has finished, it would normally clean up after itself, removing any files in the source folder. If you like, you can choose for that not to happen by clicking the keep source. And the limit objects per folder, that option, what it does is as it moves from source to destination, if a particular destination folder, say the letter T, has more than a certain number of files in it, so in this case I've set it to 285, if it hits that limit, it will then create a spillover folder, and the remainder of those files that are in the source folder will go into the spillover folder, and it will create as many spillover folders as is necessary. So with those options set, I'm just going to click on Start. A little warning comes up just saying that if there are zip files in the folder, after they've been extracted, the original zip files will be deleted, so you can bail out if you want for whatever reason, or you can just click yes. You can see the progress bar there going through our 2,147 ADFs, and you get a little status when it's finished telling you what happened and how long it took. And now go back to drive D, just refresh that, go to our test folder, and here we've got all of the files nicely organized into their respective alphabetic folder, including the spillover folder. So the letter T clearly had more than 285 files, so it created a spillover for the remainder, and there they are. And up the top we've got this folder here. This is for any programs or folders that begin with numbers or special characters. So that is example 1. Example 2 is, let's say you've downloaded an archive of whatever, extracted it, and it's just full of more zip files, which can be a headache to normally unzip, and then you would have to sort them and all that kind of crap. So instead, we can again go to Folder Organizer, select our source folder there, we'll create a separate destination folder, and select that. I'll leave those options as they were, and just do start. Again, we get our warning. So you can see it unzipped them all, and then it moved the unzipped product. So if we go to that destination folder, here are all of the alphabetically organized, in this case, folders. So each zip unzipped to its own folder. So it folder organizer moved folders. Now, one thing you could do is, you did see me before. I created separate folders for the TOSEC demos. So we could actually combine those two source folders into one destination. So if I, for example, we'll leave the A500 test folder there, but we'll make our source folder the TOSEC one. And just do start. Again, go yes to the warning. Done. So now we go back to our A500 test. We will have a lot more files or folders, depending upon what they were, in our destination. And you can see here, so from TOSEC, it had its files. They were just all ADFs, and then you can see the A500 test one. It had folders, so that's your sort of proof there that it's combined the two. Alright, well, I hope you find this utility as useful as I did.